It's especially critical if you are somebody who's worried about your egg quality, who's worried about your ovarian reserve, who has experienced miscarriage or other pregnancy loss, who has had difficulty getting pregnant via natural conception, or who has experienced failed IVF. So, the thing that all of these fertility experiences have in common is the root cause of abnormality. Okay. So, this is the egg maturation equation that I want you to be aware of today, and that can make all of the difference in the world for you. If you look at all of those experiences, all of the ones I just outlined for you, at their root, they share the cause of abnormality. And abnormality in the baby originates in abnormality that goes all the way down to the fertilized egg, that goes down to the egg and or the sperm, that goes down to the DNA, that goes down to the cells. All of these are related to one another. And there's a solution to this issue of abnormality. And that's what I want to talk about today. But first, let me just point out that even if you don't know what has caused the experiences, the heartbreaking, difficult experiences that you've had with your fertility, with getting pregnant, staying pregnant, carrying a pregnancy to term, having successful IVF, you can almost count on the fact that abnormality is involved in whatever's going on. Abnormality accounts for at least 60% of miscarriages. That's miscarriage before or pregnancy loss before 20 weeks. And it also accounts for at least 60% of pregnancies that never happen. Okay, because the pregnancies that don't happen when intercourse is timed accurately usually are not happening due to abnormality. The same is true when it comes to failed IUI or failed IVF. In the case of failed IVF, for example, there may not be enough follicles developing. There may be too few eggs retrieved. It may be that the eggs didn't fertilize, that the fertilized eggs didn't make it to the blastocyst stage, that the embryos were sent for testing and they came back as chromosomally abnormal, or it was unclear whether they're normal or not. That's called mosaic. In all of those cases, with the possible exception of mosaic, which in some cases turn out to be okay, in all of those cases, abnormality is at the root. Okay, so we have to address the abnormality in order to give ourselves the very best odds of getting pregnant, staying pregnant, carrying the pregnancy to term, and having our super babies, our healthiest, happiest, brightest, most well-adjusted, most neurocognitively strong and resilient to the stresses of the modern world babies as we can possibly have. That's what it means to get to have your super baby. It doesn't mean one person's baby is better than the other. It means your super baby has gotten the very best of you genetically and epigenetically, and of the other person providing DNA for your baby. That's the goal each and every single time. That's what gives us better fertility. That's what gives us better pregnancy outcomes and experiences. That's what gives us better childhood experiences and parenting experiences. So, how do we address this issue of abnormality? Addressing the issue of abnormality comes down to addressing age. We fix the problem of abnormality through the pathway of age. Now, I know that when you hear this, you're going to, at first, you're going to feel like, oh my God, this is really bad because I am the age I am. And I've already been so worried about my age, and everybody's telling me that I should be worried about my age. But here's the thing. I am not talking about age in the way that you're used to hearing about age, or the way that you're automatically thinking about age more than likely. I'm talking about your biological, epigenetic, reproductive age. When you heard age, your first thought was about chronological age. That's your age in number. That's the number of years since you were born, the number of years you've been in this lifetime. We don't have any control to affect our chronological age, but we do have the ability to affect our biological age. That's where we have leverage. That's where we have the ability to shape change, to shape improvement. And that's where we want to focus our energy and our attention. So now that you understand this egg maturation equation, you can also call this an egg quality and even egg quantity equation. And you understand the root cause underlying all of these adverse outcomes, or the majority of these adverse outcomes, 60% or more. You know that abnormality is that root cause, and you know that the pathway for addressing and fixing abnormality, reducing the likelihood or risk of abnormality, is through age, but not chronological age, which we don't have control over, through biological, reproductive, epigenetic age, which we do have the ability to shape. That's where we have malleability. That's where we have leverage. So now that you understand this equation, I'm going to come back and see you next week. And I want to talk about, how do we do that? How do we change our biological, epigenetic, reproductive age for the better? And let me just come here so that I can tell you what time I am coming to see you next Tuesday. So I'll be back to see you next Tuesday so that we can talk about, how do we do this? Now that we understand the equation, what is it that we do? I will be back to see you at, let me just look here. I will be back to see you at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time next Tuesday. That's February 20th. So I'll see you next Tuesday at 8:20 a.m. February 20th. Okay, so come back and see me then. In the meantime, I send you off with warmest wishes and super baby dust. And make sure that you are on our email list and you're getting my emails, you're opening them. Set a time, 5 minutes a day, to read them, because I'm sending you a lot of really important information about the 13 steps of healthy conception. And specifically, we're on stage 2, egg maturation right now. So make sure that you come and you see those. I don't want you to miss those emails, because they have really important information in them. Okay. Sending you warmest wishes. If you need help, please comment fertile. Comment fertile. You can put it in the comments, or you can send it to me privately via DM, and we will send you a resource to help you get started as our gift. Okay. Sending you warmest wishes. I'll be back to see you on Tuesday. Meet me back here.